We can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him better than he was. Better, stronger, faster. Maybe he'll even stop missing his triggers and tapping his lands properly. Also, if you got that reference, remember to take some painkillers for your back today. I'm looking out for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to Affinity for Commander, where I'm going to be helping you improve your game of EDH by some quick and easy changes you can make at the tabletop. But as always, if you like any of the cards you see here in this video today, please make sure you go through all of our lovely affiliate links to make your purchases. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but it really helps channel out quite a lot. To help illustrate this point, let me tell you a story. There was a time I was playing this weird game of cEDH. I was on Thrasios Brutal, there was a Prosh, a Narset Enlightened Master, and I think it was a Malcolm Tana? This was literally years ago, cut me a break here. But the Malcolm player was on 10, and I and the Prosh player were at super healthy life totals, but the Narset player was a little bit low. And this was down simply to me hitting him with Thrasios from turn 2 onwards, which he just never ever blocked. So he kept taking an additional damage every single turn. Anyhow, the Prosh player then casts his commander with an Impact Tremors and Perforos out. This outright kills the Malcolm player, and then, by just 1 point of damage, also kills the Narset player. I dropped a single digit, but I'm still alive. And if memory serves, I then won the turn after with some Kinnan Basalt Monolith nonsense. But that's just cEDH for you, I guess. Now, the point of this story is not to show that I am some immensely amazing, master calculating cEDH grand champion, it is to simply help illustrate my 5th point, and that is this. Stop leaving damage on the table. So many times I have seen people with creatures out, blockers to spare, cards in hand and mana open, and another player is out there with no blockers and completely tapped out, and hell, let's even say they're playing control just for good measure, but they're not being hit or attacked. Why? Do you want some goddamn bleeding semaphore to help you with this? Hit them! I swear, one of the major reasons a lot of games, especially casual games, go to time or take forever is because people just aren't attacking each other when they just can with no repercussions. Think about that control player or that mono black player. Suddenly they're on a lot lower life and they can't just freely tap out to cast that 1000-year storm and then say, yeah, I'll take the damage until my next turn. Because if they've been hit consistently, that's becoming a lot riskier of a play than if they were, still on a healthy 30 plus life. If you've got damage, throw it around. Okay, this one might annoy some people, but if your starting hand consists of 3 lands and 4 other cards that are 4 CMC plus, that is not a keepable hand. So number 4 is make sure your hand is playable. And playable does not mean it just contains 2 or 3 lands. Have a slight game plan, have something to do on each of those turns, even if that something is hold a big counter or kill spell. Remember, and I'm going to keep banging on to this, I might even get it tattooed one day, the person who wins the game most often is the one who expends the most mana. So on the back of that, let's do some quick maths. If you aren't casting anything until turn 4, that is 1, then 3, then 6 mana that you've done absolutely nothing with. And in the early game, that's a lot of mana. That could have been a 3 visits on turn 2 into your 4 mana commander on turn 3. Now, you've already got a creature on board, your mana ahead, and you haven't wasted 2 out of your 4 turns so far. All for just casting 1 sorcery. It is one of the many reasons why in the deck techs I do, I'm constantly banging on about talismans or 2 mana ramp spells. They help out so much. Now, obviously this is unique to pretty much every deck, even a control deck, but even they should still be playing a talisman or a signet or a mind stone on turn 2 or maybe even their commander. But after turn 3, holding up interaction or instant speed draw effects is kind of what they do. but that mana should still be getting used before it gets back to their turn. But put it this way, you should still not keep a hand like this if you're playing control, because even if you're drawing something, that's based on the luck of the game, not you keeping a good hand. So yeah, remember, playable hand, not just a hand that has land in it. And do remember that an absolutely fire 5-card hand is way better than a trash 7. Kind of keeping with the theme of mana and mana production, there is always that one person in a game that will keep a 3-land playable hand, but then will just never draw that 4th mana producing source, and you feel very bad for them, because now they're just going to be used for, taking attack triggers. The one way to solve this, and my 3rd tip, is to run more ways of producing mana. Now, the old adage of run more lands is usually true, and if I did get into a bit of trouble with my land recommendations, but honestly, you need more lands. But honestly, you need more ways of producing mana in general. I'm talking birds, elves, mana rocks, especially mana rocks. Especially mana rocks if your deck is artifact themed or can do cool stuff with artifacts. And for the mana dorks themselves, these are boots on the ground, your late game blockers to throw in front of a bus, or get that 4th mana you need to finally cast that Skyshroud claim you've had in your hand since turn 1. Now of course the counter argument is that late game, unless you've got some engine going, these are pretty dead cards. Hence, you should play mana producers that have some utility. Scrap Gorger or Deathrite Shaman completely ruin a graveyard player's day, or even just annoyingly hitting people for 2 with the Elf's ability. Or even something like Bramble Familiar that comes with an alternative use in its adventuring side. More ways of producing mana is going to help you get to your game plan a lot quicker, and even then allow you to play those bigger spells a little bit earlier, prevent you from being stuck on colours and fixing, and stop you from being that person who's now just the table's punching bag. And yes, if you're running a lot of elves and mana dogs, yeah, a board wipe might hurt you, but I'd rather have the chance of getting to a good amount of 6 mana than just banking on drawing that 4th land. Speaking of board wipes, and I'm probably speaking to the converted here, but if you've made it this far into the video, I'm assuming some level of genuineness on wanting to improve on your part, or maybe just like hearing me yell angrily at a camera about a card game, but here it is for the billionth time. Play more interaction. Having said that though, I'm going to alter this ever so slightly. Play more suitable interaction. Now what I mean by this is that everyone knows Swords to Plowshares is arguably the best creature removal. Assassin's Trophy just gets rid of anything. Or if you just want everyone to get rid of all their permanents and reset the game, then of course Farewell is a good way to ruin your friendships. Colours depending, there should always be something you can run to stop your opponents from winning, or to get rid of that permanent that's stopping your deck from working. If you're playing a graveyard deck and don't have a single way to get rid of a Dalthy, then that's kind of on you. If you're in a life gain deck with green and black, Mortality Spear is solid. If you're playing Infect or a Counters based deck, then Atomize will get rid of any annoying creature but still push your game plan forward. Or if you're playing Aristocrat, then Bone Splinters destroys a creature and heck puts the Gravecrawler in your yard while triggering that Blood Artist you've got out. All of these pieces are interaction while still being on theme for your deck and progressing your game plan. So no, I'm not just saying slap in that Assassin's Trophy because you got one from that Murders pack you got from your LGS because it was on a discount and just put it straight into your beta deck. No, play something that synergizes well and still is able to kill your opponent's commander for the 3rd time in a row before they've even been able to use it. I'm still not sorry, Josh. But the final piece of advice ties loosely in with the first of not leaving damage on the table. But okay, you've taken my advice, you've now decided to hit someone with that 2/2 you've got. But who to hit? And now we're getting to it. Stop using dice to decide things. unless it is a dragon from the D&D set or other cards that specifically require you to roll a dice for an effect, or hell, even if you're using dice in place of coins for something like Croc the Thumbless, stop using dice for decision making. Just imagine it. You've got a 6/6 flyer. Everyone is open. You've got blockers for days, a healthy life total, mana open, and a counterspell in hand. It's quite frankly going great. But now it's combat on your turn, and you need to decide who's getting that dino-based slap to the face. Firstly, any mono-black player or players with black as their primary colour. This is because, very simply, a lot of black cards use the life total as a resource. So by reducing their total, you're now denying them that resource. Ballas's Citadel looks a lot less like a game changer when you're on 6 life rather than 12. Same for draw effects, Black Market Connections or Knight's Whisper. Lowering that person's life total means all these cards become worse and worse as the game goes on. Next is the person most likely to win. If you don't have any way of dealing with a presented win con, or you know one is coming, then hitting that person down to the point where others can finish them off is a way of you using the resources you have to deal with a problem that's outside your deck's specialism. Which leads me to the final means of deciding who to hit to stop using those damn dice. Hit the person who's playing a deck that your deck can't deal with. Now, okay, this is probably going to require some explanation. Let's say I'm playing Gishath. Proper Dino Kindred style deck. Big Naya Stompy. Great stuff. But my interaction with a person playing a Control or Storm deck is, quite frankly, minimal. Now, sure, I should have some removal. See tip 2 for a refresher on that. But I'm still not well versed in dealing with counterspells, instant speed interactions, or combos. So if I've got damage to throw around, I shouldn't be letting the fickle hand of fate decide. I should be hitting that guy whose deck I know that mine just simply can't deal with. If, for example, you're playing a Voltron, hit the green player as they're probably going to have more enchantment or equipment destruction. If you're playing tokens, hit the person playing Massacre Girl. Now this could be all summed up in a common phrase you might hear all the time. Player removal is still removal. Now sure, I might have absolutely no means of stopping the combo you've just treated for, good sir, but I do have a massive dino and some friends of his, and Barney's looking awfully hungry. And then, hopefully, if you don't outright kill them, the next person turn order might be able just to finish them off with their creatures, and thus offering you a higher chance of victory. Or at the very least, not dying right then and there. Dice removes all manner of choice from the game, and the other argument I always hear from this is, oh, I don't want to make enemies. My dear, you've sat down to play a game with 3 other people, all of whom are trying to win. They're already your enemies. Make your peace with that, turn your board sideways, and ask them to take another 7 lots of commander damage. And those are my 5 top tips for improving your game of EDH. What are some tips you would give any player, new or experienced? Leave them in the comments below. As always, all Affinity for Commander content is made possible thanks to support of our amazing patrons. You guys are truly awesome. If you too like to support the channel and get access to exclusive EDH rewards, including our Discord server, then be sure to check out our link in the description box below. You can also support the channel in a few of the quick and easy ways, liking this video, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, and commenting below. But as always guys, I've been Alex, and I'll see you next time.